How will Pacquiao do against the PBC welterweights and a Texas takeover? Please like and subscribe. Help us hit 10,000 subscribers. Also, leave a comment. Let us know how we're doing. Manny Pacquiao is officially part of the PBC family. Big news or way too late? Plus, the Charlos co-head a card in New York. Manny Pacquiao is officially with Al Haymon and PBC. Would have been a dream come true, for many fight fans, both casual and hardcore, a few years ago. It would have put all the top 147 pounders on the same side of the promotional fence. Thurman, Spence, Porter, Garcia, Pacquiao, as well as Mikey Garcia, who's been flirting with going to 147, as well as Adrian Broner, all on that same side. And of course, the biggest fight in the sport, Floyd Mayweather, he's always flirting with the comeback. You don't know exactly what he's going to do and what his plans are, but he would obviously be on that side as well. So, a couple of years ago, this would have been a dream come true. I still think it's good. It's a multi-fight deal. So Pac is going to finish out his career with Al Haymon and PBC. We want to go over how we think Manny will do with PBC and against Al Haymon's stable of 147 pounders. Check out the blog, the website, 3dboxingblog.com, for the new piece on Manny. We have a 3-fight plan that we laid out for him. And we'll go over all that with you guys on the website. Go over to 3dboxingblog.com. Check out the piece we just wrote on Manny's game plan, his 3-fight plan with PBC. And let us know what you think. But we're going to break down now how Manny Pacquiao would do with each of Al's top 147 pounders. So that, we came up with the following names. These are Al's top 147 pounders. Adrian Broner, Mikey Garcia, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, Errol Spence. We're not going to get into Floyd until he officially comes back. So let's start with Adrian Broner. Yes, he's a big name. And this looks set for January 19th for Vegas. That's what we're being told, and we're going to move forward with that assumption until something comes up. So the first fight of this multi-fight deal would be against Adrian Broner. Look, this is a perfect first fight for Pacquiao, right? Broner's a B-plus guy. So if Manny can beat him, he's still an A or an A-minus guy. Right? Broner beats everybody else except for the A-level fighters. Same as Jesse Vargas, we fought to a draw with, not surprisingly. But this is a good fight. I think Pac takes it. I think Broner wins some rounds. I think Broner has some moments. I think Broner looks really good in spots. Because Pacquiao never really does really well with good athletes, and Broner's exactly that. But what's Broner's flaw? Broner doesn't let his hands go. And Pacquiao's going to do that, and Pacquiao's going to take advantage of that. He's going to fire in the left hand. He's going to fire in the right hook, and he's just going to outwork him, and he's just going to make the judges give him rounds. But I expect Pacquiao to take a competitive decision, probably 8 rounds to 4 over Broner. But I expect it to be a competitive fight. I expect Broner to go to the distance. I expect Broner to look well. I don't think Broner's stock will take much of a hit when he loses this fight. Because I don't think many are expecting him to win. And I don't think he will. But I think he'll make it competitive enough where we'll see Broner again. Next up, Mikey Garcia is not out 147 yet. But this fight makes a lot of sense too, right? Because Pacquiao is still, I know he's been at 147 for a decade, it seems like, right? But he's not a big 147 pounder. He could easily move down. And Mikey's not a 147 pounder by any stretch of the imagination. I don't even know who'd be the bigger man in that ring. I guess Pacquiao might be bigger. Pacquiao carries his weight a little weird. Most of it's in his calves and stuff, so he's a little heavier than he looks. But Mikey's no welterweight. He was small at 140. I'm going to take Mikey Garcia in this fight, but I don't think Pacquiao is going to have much of a size advantage. I don't think he's going to have a strength advantage at all. And I think Mikey is too good for Pacquiao right now. I think he's going to make Pacquiao miss a lot. He's going to block it. He's going to counter a lot of his stuff. I think Garcia's timing is fantastic. We saw that with the Broner fight, that his timing is impeccable. And that's the one thing that counteracts a prime Pacquiao. And I think Garcia can do, like Marquez was able to time him, and he was able to slow his punch output put down because of his ability to time Pacquiao. And I think Garcia can do that. I think Garcia takes a very competitive decision over Pacquiao. I say the same, about 8-4. Danny Garcia, this is really interesting. Because Garcia does a lot of things. Danny Garcia, that is now, does a lot of things well. Right? He counters well, but he doesn't counter better than Pac. He's pretty quick, but he's not faster than Pacquiao. Does he hit harder than Pac? What I'm saying is, I think this is good, but I think everything Garcia does well, Pacquiao does a little better even at the age of 40. So I would take Pacquiao to win this fight on points. Really close, really competitive. I'd pick Pacquiao to win. Sean Porter. How would Pacquiao do against Sean Porter? Well, I think this is a great fight. I think Porter wears him down. 3 years ago, I think Pacquiao dominates this fight with Porter, but Pacquiao doesn't have the same legs that he used to, right? And when Pacquiao threw 100 punches around, and I think he had the legs to keep Porter away from him, and he threw enough punches where he couldn't be bum rushed. I think Pacquiao may have some success early in the fight. He may take some early rounds with Porter being a little over aggressive, but I think Porter. I think Porter endures that. I think Porter makes it through the onslaught of losing the first couple rounds. I do think he'd lose, right? I don't think it's not the same Pacquiao, right? Like Porter's not going to get Ricky Hatton, right? He's not going to get flattened like Hatton did against Pacquiao. And I think Pacquiao will land some big shots, but I think just the constant, relentless pressure that we saw Jeff Horn put on him and wear him down. I think Porter does that, and Porter's much better than Horn. So I think Porter really starts to beat him up in the later half and wear him down. I think Pacquiao goes the distance, but loses a clear decision to Sean Porter. Keith Thurman. Now, you guys are going to disagree with this. You guys know how I feel about Keith Thurman, but I've never criticized his skills. I've criticized Keith Thurman for a litany of things, and they all range from him not getting in the ring and him faking injuries and him lying to his fans about cutting back and him lying to the boxing boys and lying in interviews and saying all this. But I've never knocked his skills. So I want to get into this. I think Pac outworks him and outlands him. Look, Keith can be hit. Keith gets wild. Keith leaves himself open. Keith is a tremendous athlete, and that will be his saving grace. But being out of the ring, being a step slower, and being rusty, and being able to hit is exactly what Pacquiao needs. If you're not sharp, you can ask Tim Bradley about this. Tim Bradley said every time Pacquiao throws a punch, it was like daggers going past your head. When you have ring rust, when you've accumulated ring rust, when you've only fought twice in 3.5 years now, like Thurman has, you've been out of the ring for 2 years, you're not going to be fully yourself. So I think this is a bad fight for Thurman. I think Pacquiao looks real precise, and he would win this fight. And I think this fight should be made, and I think it will be made. I do. I think this will be made after he fights Broner. I think the WBA will mandate it because they both have versions of the belt. And I don't think Keith Thurman's going to fight again until Pacquiao fights Broner in January. I think Thurman will be inactive, which will put him at 2 years since he last fought, basically. And I think the WBA will have had enough and say, you're going to fight Manny Pacquiao, and each of you are going to defend your version of the belt. We'll have a WBA super champion at the end of this. So I think that fight will happen. I think it will happen June, July of 2019, summer of 2019. And it's a big fight. And I would lean towards Pacquiao. Finally, Errol Spence. Again, this is going to be tough because Spence is so young and so strong. But he's a come forward fighter. And he's not that fast, right? Like he's not. I'm not saying he's a slow, plodding fighter, but he's not lightning quick. You know, he's not Sugar Ray Leonard. He's not Floyd Mayweather. He's not Shane Mosley. He's a come forward fighter. I think eventually Spence gets him, right? But I think Spence it takes him a few rounds to figure him out, and after 3-4 rounds, we're looking at a fairly even fight on the cards. I think people are going to be shocked at how good Pacquiao looks if this fight did happen. But Spence, after that, the size difference and the strength and Spence's body attack, I think Spence is going to get to Pacquiao's body better than anyone could have imagined, better than anyone's done in the past. Way better than even Horn did, and Horn did well. I think he pushes him around and bullies him the way that Horn did. I think Pacquiao stops him. He's the only one on this list I'd pick Pacquiao to be stopped by, but I think Spence stops Pacquiao mid to late rounds, 7, 8, 9, something like that. And I think it gets, I think Pacquiao looks good, keeps it even for the first 4 rounds, and then 5, 6, 7, whatever it goes. Spence really starts to do some damage and really breaks him down. I think that if this fight did happen, it could be Pacquiao's last, which is why I don't think it'll happen anytime soon. Look, what I'm guessing is his first fight will be against Broner, which we know. That's not a guess. That's what we're being told. His second fight will be against Keith Thurman. It could be his third fight against Errol Spence. But again, go to the website, 3dboxingblog.com. We break that all down. Check out the article on how Manny Pacquiao would do against the Manny Pacquiao plan, the PBC plan for Manny Pacquiao. We get into all that and who he would fight. But my guess would be that he'll fight Thurman if he beats Broner. If he doesn't beat Broner, then he'll probably fight 2 bombs and call it a career or whatever. But leave your thoughts and comments on that. I went over all of the big PBC names that he could potentially face. Leave your thoughts, comments. How do you think Pac would do? I know a lot of you guys are going to be upset about me picking him to beat Keith Thurman. I've hated on Keith Thurman in the past, but I've never hated on Thurman's skills, so keep that in mind. I just think stylistically, with Thurman not fighting ever, really, fighting twice in 3.5 years, whatever it's been, some ridiculous thing, this is just, I think Thurman's in trouble. I think his best days are behind him, even though he's not particularly old. Finally, big news, the Charlos are back. The Lone Star State takes on New York. The Charlo brothers will both fight at the Barclays on December 22nd. And the 2 brothers will flip a coin to see which fighter will be the main event. So that's pretty cool. The winner of the winner of a coin toss will determine whose name is on top of the marquee. The opponents are announced as well. We will get to that, but I really like this. This is really cool. As a brother and a father of boys and a father of twins, how cool is this for the Charlo family? Both twin brothers fighting on the same card in New York. I mean, this is awesome. The opponents are so-so, right? I mean, we'll get to that, and that's okay. But this is a great chance for the Charlo twins. This is the first time they will get to headline a card that they're headlining all by themselves. This will be the Charlo brothers card. So Jermell Charlo, which is the little brother in both weight class and in age, is fighting Tony Harrison. This is an okay fight. Again, it's not the fight that we would have dreamed of, not the fight that everyone wanted. Obviously, that would be Hurd, but Hurd is recovering from injuries and whatnot. So he's getting a pro. Harrison has good head movement. He's got good feet. He's a decent fighter, and I think he'll have some success early. I think it'll be a boxing match. I think he'll try to fight the way that Trout fought him, and he's not as good as Trout. I don't think Jermell looked really good against Austin. I scored it for Charlo, but I had it real close. I know some people had it real close, like I didn't. I know some people had Jermell winning big. I thought the fight was close. I don't think Harrison will do that well, but he'll give him some troubles early. But I think both Charlo brothers are such excellent boxers. They will figure it out, and I think Charlo wears them down mid rounds, and then just starts to overwhelm them. As for a big brother, by whatever it is, 1 or 2 minutes or however much older Jermall Charlo is, this is a tough break. We've covered this extensively. Jermall Charlo is fighting Willie Monroe. I get this isn't really fair to Jermall. He should be fighting Canelo in December, as he is the mandatory. After this, he may have to go through Triple G as well. This is not really fair to Charlo at all. This is kind of ridiculous to have to jump through another hoop. This is a raw deal. But he can make the most of this. I mean, this is not the fight he wanted. This is not the fight that we wanted to see him in. I think he's one of the best fighters in the sport. I think he is the best fighter in the middleweight division. He's not getting a chance to prove that. But he'll make the best of it. And Monroe's a really solid fighter, really good technical boxer, good hand speed, good jab. He gave Triple G some issues before being stopped by Triple G. But this shouldn't be much of an issue for Jamal, who should be able to find him. I think he breaks him down and wears him down as well. I don't think Monroe wins many rounds in this fight, if any. But I think he makes it competitive and you know, makes Jamal Charlo work, at least. It will probably be... It is the best fighter Charlo's fought at middleweight, so we'll see how that goes. This card will be televised on Fox, just regular Fox, like you can watch the NFL on. It's the first card as part of that huge contract Fox signed earlier this year, and will be held in the Barclays Center. When obviously it should be held in Houston, you know, but it's not. Toyota Center would be the perfect place for this. So obviously they're going to put it in Barclays because that makes no sense. But look, I'm into this because it's twin brothers sharing a card. It's really cool. I guess it's not the two best fights in the world, but I think each Charlo brother gets the win and by stoppage. So it'll be a great night. It'll be a fun night. You get to see PBC showcase these two fighters, and I think PBC is clearly trying to show these two brothers off and make them their next big thing. So this is not necessarily the fights that we would pick, or the first fight we would pick to see these guys in. Obviously, we would pick Jermell Charlo with Trout in a unification fight, because with Hurd, we would pick Jermell Charlo with Hurd in a unification fight. And we would pick Jamal Charlo, Canelo, which a fight we've been asking for now for years. But again, it's a good chance for the Charlo brothers to headline their own card and make some noise. They are solid fights. I mean, they're not terrible fights. But let me know what you guys think. Are you guys excited for this because it's cool to see the twin brothers headline a card? Or are you just not impressed with the opponents at all? Leave your thoughts, comments below. Let me know what you think. Remember to like and subscribe. Help us hit those 10,000 subscribers for Tuesday night fights. This is 3D Boxing saying thank you and God bless.
Enjoy 3D Boxing vlog videos? Show us some love by clicking the like button. Don't miss a tweet, post, story, or video. 3dboxingvlog.com is also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hit the subscribe button now to stay inside the ring.